So Apple just dropped iOS 26.3. And yeah, everyone's kind of losing their minds over the new wallpapers. But look, the real story, it's buried deep in your settings. We're talking about a change that quietly rewrites like 2 decades of tech history. It's a huge strategic shift from the biggest company on the planet. And that brings us to the big question, right? Why would Apple build an exit ramp out of its own empire? I mean, for decades, these guys perfected the walled garden. They made it so hard to leave. So why on earth would they suddenly hand us all a key and point to the door? Well, let's dig in. Okay, to really get what's happening, you have to rewind just a few weeks to iOS 26.2. That update, it was all about the look, pure, unadulterated eye candy. You remember that liquid gloss UI, right? The gorgeous translucent icons, those futuristic blurs. It was all designed to make you just fall in love with your phone again. But this new update, 26.3, is the complete opposite. It is not about beauty. It's all about pure, almost brutal function. Because buried deep in a menu you probably never even look at, there's this new button, Transfer to Android. I mean, it almost feels like a sin to see that on an iPhone screen, doesn't it? And that contrast, right there, that's the real story. So yeah, people in the tech world are already calling this the one-tap divorce. And for good reason. This thing completely flips the script on the power dynamic between you and your phone. Think about how it used to be. Switching to Android was a total nightmare, right? It was almost like a punishment. You had to use these buggy third-party apps, you lose your WhatsApp history, and oh my God, the iMessage black hole. It wasn't just inconvenient, it felt like a penalty for leaving. But now, you just put your iPhone next to an Android phone, that's it. They set up their own little secure Wi-Fi link, and poof, everything goes over. Photos, messages, even your eSIM profile. What used to be a weekend-long headache is now just a 15-minute progress bar. Wild. Okay, but let's get one thing straight. Apple didn't do this because they had a sudden change of heart. No way. This wasn't about giving you more choice. This feature is here because some really powerful, unseen forces basically kicked down the door to that walled garden. And it really all boils down to this one number, 10%. What's that? Oh, just the percentage of their global annual turnover they were staring down the barrel of in fines. We are talking tens of billions of dollars here. That gets your attention. So where did this come from? Well, this change was basically forced on them. It's the direct result of some serious regulation, the European Union's Digital Markets Act, to be specific. They gave Apple a really simple ultimatum. Open the gate, or we open your bank account. Yeah, it wasn't a friendly suggestion. It was a demand. But wait, you might be thinking, why is this available everywhere and not just in Europe? Well, the answer is pretty simple. It's just easier for the engineers. Imagine trying to maintain two separate versions of iOS, one open for the EU and one closed for everyone else. It would be a total QA nightmare. You're talking double the testing, double the bugs to fix. So Apple just did the math and decided it was cheaper and way safer to open the gate for all of us. You could say we're all the accidental beneficiaries of European bureaucracy. Okay, but even if you're thinking, I'm never leaving Apple, you still need to pay attention. This update is absolutely non-negotiable. Because packed right alongside that exit ramp are some of the most critical security and privacy patches we've seen in a long, long time. First, let's just quickly define a term you're going to hear, a zero-day exploit. What is that? It's basically a nightmare scenario. It means hackers found a security hole and were already using it to attack people before Apple even knew it existed. It's pretty much the most dangerous kind of digital threat out there. And get this, iOS 26.3 patches 39 different vulnerabilities. 39. And that includes a really nasty zero-day that's been nicknamed the Librarian exploit. The analogy is pretty simple. Think of your phone's software as a library. This exploit let a hacker basically trick the librarian into swapping a real book of code for a malicious fake one. And once your app opens that fake book, boom, the hacker gets total control. This update slams that book shut, for good. And if you have one of the newer iPhones, there is a massive win for your privacy. The new C1 modem inside has this amazing built-in feature. If you go into settings and turn on Limit Precise Location, the chip itself, the actual hardware, blurs your location data before it ever even leaves your phone. So instead of your carrier knowing you're at the Starbucks on 4th and Main, they just know you're somewhere downtown. It's basically a hardware-level middle finger to the entire data broker industry. It's awesome. So we've got the feature, and we've got the forces that made it happen. But there is a much bigger story here, a much bigger strategy at play. This isn't just Apple checking a box for regulators. This is a massive, high-stakes gamble on their entire future. What Apple is doing here is what we're calling the confidence game. It's kind of like a Silicon Valley divorce. It's where one person says, "You want to leave? Fine, go. I'll even help you pack your bags." It's a total power move, right? It signals the supreme confidence that, you know what, you're going to miss me so much, you'll come crawling back. There's this quote that just absolutely nails it. Apple is substituting lock-in with lust. Think about that. They're shifting away from keeping you trapped just because it's a pain to leave. Now they want you to stay because you want to, because you actually desire what they're selling. That's a huge change in philosophy. So why do all this now? Just look at the calendar. We're in February, and what is the entire tech world buzzing about for March? iOS 26.4, and the massive rumor of a totally reinvented Gemini-powered Siri. See what's happening? This update is all about clearing the decks. They're fixing the security holes, they're getting right with the law, all so that next month, the only thing anyone is talking about is their game-changing new AI. And that's the loyalty test. This is Apple's big bet. They are betting everything that this new AI will be so incredible, so deeply integrated, so far ahead of everyone else that it won't just stop you from leaving, it will actually make people switch back to Apple. But man, the risk is huge. Because if that new Siri is a letdown, if it's a dud, then Apple just spent a whole lot of time and money tearing down its own defenses for absolutely nothing. Okay, so what does all of this mean for you? Right now, holding your iPhone? We've gone through a lot, I know, but it really just boils down to a couple of key things you need to know and do. First up, some simple quality of life stuff. If your battery has been absolutely terrible since that last update, this is the fix you've been waiting for. It turns out that beautiful liquid glass UI was just crushing your GPU. This update optimizes it, so your phone should finally stop getting hot in your pocket and, maybe last a full day again. So here it is, your 3-step action plan. Super simple. Number 1, update your phone. Like right now. Pause this and go do it. That Librarian exploit is no joke. Number 2, if you've got a newer iPhone, dive into your settings and turn on Limit Precise Location. It's a huge privacy boost against carrier tracking. And number 3, just wait and watch. The real show starts in March. That's when we'll see if Apple has truly earned your loyalty. And all of this leaves us with one final big question. By tearing down the walls right before their biggest launch in years, is this Apple showing supreme, unshakable confidence? Or is it dangerous arrogance that's about to backfire in a spectacular way? Because for the first time in a long time, now that the walls are down, the choice is finally truly yours.